friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Diane, and thank you so much for coming and being with me today. I want to say hello to all of my old subscribers and welcome to all of my new subscribers. So we're going to get right into it today. Today we're going to be making green bean casserole. So I've got all my ingredients out. I've got me a little bit of butter in the pan, and I've got some olive oil that I've also put in the pan. And I'm going to be adding, this is a large onion that I've chopped up, and they're the same size. And we're going to be sauteing these until they're nice and tender and golden. I'm going to save this bowl because I'm going to need that bowl a little bit later on. So we're going to let these get nice and soft. And we're going to be putting some bacon in our green bean casserole. I've already cooked 6 strips of bacon, nice and golden brown. And I'm going to crumble that up. And I also have some julienne sun-dried tomatoes that we're going to add into that. That's a half a cup. So we're going to let this continue to go. And then we're going to put this all together. It goes all together real quick. And we're going to put it in the oven. My oven is preheating at 350 degrees. We're going to cook this for 30 minutes after we put it in the oven. I got my green beans soaking. So I drained off my green beans, and this is just the Food Line brand of green beans, probably equivalent to 3 cans of green beans. This is actually 50 ounces of green beans. Now you could go ahead and just have fresh green beans, but I ain't got time for that, okay? So we want this to be quick and easy so we can get in and out of this kitchen really fast. So we're letting our onions saute up until they get nice and tender. Okay, so great. Now my onions are exactly where I want them to be at. I want them to be just where they're starting to get tender, because they will get tender the rest of the way in the oven for the 30-some minutes that we're going to cook it. So then the next thing we're going to put in here is, this is cream of chicken and mushroom soup. So we're going to add a can of that right into this onion that we have sauteed. And we want to get it all in there. Make sure you use your spatula so you can get every bit of that goodness in there. All right, that looks good. So of course, I'm going to give that a little quick stir. And I always have some homemade chicken broth on hand. And we're going to put in, I've got a cup here, but we may not use it all. But we're going to put in just a little bit at a time. And then I've got some heavy whipping cream. And this is just the Food Line brand. And we're going to add a little bit of that in there. You see, everything just goes so quick once you start getting it in here. And then we got pepper. We're going to put a generous amount of pepper in here. And I've got some salt as well. I don't want too much salt. Put a little bit more pepper in there. And then I have got my julienne sun-dried tomatoes, which is a half a cup. And we're going to put that in there. And I'm just going to give it a quick stir. And I will add more chicken stock or more heavy cream as I see I need it. This is looking good, and it's going to thicken up even more when you put it in the oven and bake it. So I'm going to add a little bit more chicken stock to it. Like I say, I had a cup, but you certainly won't need all of that, especially since you're using the heavy cream. And the heavy cream is just to add even more flavor and creaminess to it. You don't need but a little bit to it. All right, so I think that looks really good. And we're not by any means trying to cook this down. This is the consistency of where you want it to be at. And that looks good. I'm going to turn off our stove because we are done with that. And then I have about a half a cup of grated Parmesan that I have freshly grated. And we're going to add that in there. And this is going to kind of help it kind of stick together a little bit too. We don't want it to stick together too much, but this is also just adding another layer of flavor to it. Okay, so that is looking really, really good, y'all. I think I'm going to zoom in and get close so you can see it the rest of the way. Okay, great. So I think we can see it close up now. So we're going to take our bacon. Let me get my spatula over here. And remember, it was 6 strips of bacon. And we're just going to put like half of it right over into that. And we're going to save the rest. And we're going to put the rest on top. So, that looks good. And I wish you could smell it. Oh my goodness, guys, it smells so good. So the traditional green bean casserole has cream of mushroom in it, and it has the fried onions on top. Like I said, I really don't like that because I don't like the way it feels in my mouth. That's just my personal. Then with clean hands, we're going to put in our green beans. And I have washed these several times and rinsed them. And then we're going to just incorporate this all together and get it in there real good and mixed in. And then we're going to put it in the oven and we're going to let it cook. Everything is done. We're just kind of like milling it together. So that's looking real good, y'all. You can see those bits of bacon in there. That looks so good. All right, here's our dish that I have buttered. It's got butter and olive oil in it. I just love the combination of the butter and the olive oil. And I'm going to try to do this so you can see it. We're just going to put it all in there. It's a little awkward for me to do it in this position. I'm going to try to get above the camera and get all that goodness into it. This is so good, y'all. I hope your family will try it. It's just a different way of having the green bean casserole or green beans. So you don't just have just regular green beans. You'll have it with a little flair to it. All right, so we're just going to smooth that out. So I'm going to sticking out. All right, that looks good. And then, y'all, we're going to go back in here with some more bacon bits right on top. Okay, this is just homemade bacon that I cooked in the oven. We're going to sprinkle the rest of that on top. All right, so we got that done. And now we're going to take some panko. And this is just the Walmart brand of panko, and it's the plain. And I've got about 2 cups of panko, and I'm going to put it in this bowl because it's better. I'm going to take our butter, and this is about 2 tablespoons of butter. And we're going to put some olive oil in it. And maybe, I'm not measuring it, but maybe about 1 tablespoon of olive oil. You don't want it to be saturated. You just want it to kind of wet it a little bit. And then, of course, we're going to sprinkle this right on top of our green bean casserole. But I want to mix this in a little bit better so we can get it all covered. And then we're going to put some foil over top of it because we don't want it to, the bread crumbs to burn. And we'll take it off the last 10 minutes of the bacon. So we're going to cook it for about 30 minutes. And so when you get to the 20 minute mark, you can go ahead and take that foil off and let it bake for the rest of the minutes. The rest of the 10 minutes, and it'll be nice and toasted and brown. So we're just gonna sprinkle this. It's no rhyme or reason. Just sprinkle it on there, and that is looking so good. Of course, I don't want to cheat my corners. Let me get that in there and inside, of course. Alrighty, that looks good, you all. So now we're going to just spread it a little bit. And it's ready to go in the oven. I'm going to tint it, put it in the oven, 350 degrees for 30 minutes, and take it out, and we'll be ready to eat it. Okay, she's ready to go in the oven. Okay, guys, so it is all ready. I'm trying to zoom in so you can see it. I've got a lot going on in the kitchen today. I've got a pot roast going, and I've got some carrots cooking for dinner, but we're certainly going to have this green bean casserole with it. You can see how delicious it's looking. But I'm gonna cut into this on this end, and oh, I see that wonderful bacon in there, and it's piping hot right now, y'all. You would let it sit for a good little while, but this is supposed to just be a test taste, but I got a little bit more than a test taste. But look at that. Okay, and then we're gonna get right into it, and I'm gonna give it a little test. All right, bear with me. Sorry about all the noise, but this is some of you probably don't even know what this is, but this is like the first type of pressure cooker there is now. You have the Instapot and the Casserole, which is what I have, but this is like an old-fashioned pressure cooker that I have, and it works great, and I love it, and I still use it. And I got me a roast in there cooking, so we're going to have roast, and we're going to have green bean casserole, and I got some carrots cooking right here. So we're going to give us a little taste. I'm trying to get a little bit of everything in there. And it's still hot, but like I say, you would let this sit up for a little bit, or cook it, put it in the refrigerator after it cools, and serve it the next day. Y'all, you can taste all the flavors in there together. The bacon, the onion. Oh my goodness. It is so delicious. Please try this for your side dish. You will absolutely love it. And put in it what you want to put in it to make it the way you want it. Like I said, I didn't like those fried onions. They just didn't set well with me. I didn't like them at all. But you do what you want to do to make a dish the way you want it to be to suit your family. I want to thank you for watching this video. Please remember to like my video, subscribe, make comments. I love your comments. I really love them. And I try to answer every comment or reply to every comment that you make. So please, please continue to pray for me and my family. We appreciate you so much from the bottom of our heart. Be blessed, and we'll see you real soon.